this first couple of years as well. We're talking about a 2 to 3 year project to make these Mariota or Winston, either one, a serviceable quarterback. So this number one draft pick. This is not a strong quarterback class at all. If you look at the mock drafts, there's not another quarterback taken until at least the third round, and they've already said it's going to be like in 2005 with Mariota and Smith, or Rodgers and Smith. Well, one of them might be in the green room for a while.
I don't think that at all. No, if one of them doesn't get picked, they won't fall past 10 because somebody will trade up to grab one of them.
But you never know, and that's the thing. But neither one of these quarterbacks are. I could see legitimate, convinced and confident that if they're drafted Mariota or Winston. I would not be 100% confident with either one of these gentlemen as a Week 1 starter.
Oh, which hopefully we play Tampa Week 1.
So I guess I want to ask you.
Is the schedule out yet?
Next Tuesday.
So I guess I want to say because you need. Well, the particular team this round y'all need a couple pieces to add right here. I mean, do you risk him playing it safe, or do you take the risk and drive a quarterback and see where he goes?
They're going to draft a quarterback because they want that guy.
You have to draft a quarterback. It's not are they going to? Do they need to? They have to. Mm-hmm. They just came off a 2-14 season after they fired a coach for going 4-12. Tampa was legitimately the laughing stock of the league last year. They had no face to that franchise. You have a new head coach that came in. He brought in a 35-year-old journeyman to be the starter. You brought in Marcus Arroyo as the offensive coordinator when your original offensive coordinator, Tedford, got laid up with heart problems and eventually was dismissed from the team. They were the butt of the joke. They were the laughing stock of the league. And not only that, believe it or not, they tanked the last game of the season to secure the number 1 pick.
We did too.
You're not leading 24-7 against New Orleans in Week 17 and pulling all your starters unless you're tanking the last game of the season to get the number 1 pick, is what they did. They have to draft a quarterback. They have to have a guy that they can put out there for ticket sales and to rebuild this franchise that says, this guy's the face of the franchise. Mm-hmm. I'll stand by what I said 2 years ago when I've said numerous times on this podcast. They're paying for the way Schiano did Josh Freeman right now. Because Freeman should still be there.
That's true.
And they've only regressed since they let go of who I thought was going to be the franchise quarterback in Josh Freeman. So they've got to redeem themselves and give somebody to put out there and say, this is our guy. It ain't they should or they would or they need. They have to draft a quarterback. They have to decide Mariota or Winston and make this guy or attempt to make this guy in the face of the franchise. There's no other way around.
Okay.
So it's unanimous. Jameis Winston goes number 1.
Jameis Winston. All right.
But John did mention something, though, as far as this works on many different levels with them taking Winston. Like I said before, Tampa needs to put butts in seats. With with FSU having that fan base in Tampa, I know there's probably more Gator fans in Tampa than Florida State fans.
USF is strong down there too.
Yeah, but still, you got that guy that'll be able to bring those people into the game as well too. So it's a market employee as well too.
Okay.
But yeah, as a talent standpoint, he definitely will be the better pick.
All right, let's move forward and go to the second pick. Tennessee Titans got the second pick. They were also 2-14.
That's where things get interesting.
And this team was also in their scheduling too. I mean, they just lost all over the place. They started out strong with the first one of the season, 2016 being Kansas City. But then again, it's just losses all around. Jacksonville, y'all.
That was a blocked field goal game, and then Thursday night we won. But
Thursday night, yeah, came back.
We lost to Jesus or Charlie Whitehurst.
So, all right. So many mock drafts got this pick all over the place. Some say Marcus Mariota. Some say Leonard Williams. There are just many places going around here what they're gonna do with this pick. So, Kevin, I'm gonna let you take the table first, and what you think Tennessee Titans should do with this pick.
What they should do. Leonard Williams, probably, arguably, the best player in the draft at any position. Overall, best player in the draft. That's what I think they're going to do. It all hinges on if the Titans believe in Zach Mettenberger or they don't. If they believe he can stay healthy for a whole year or if he can't. That's what this all hinges on. This whole draft at number 2 is where it takes a big turn, depending on what the Titans do. Because then after that, you're going to start seeing teams trying to shuffle up the board and trying to make their way up to try to grab Marcus Mariota. But I think they'll select Leonard Williams.
All right. I disagree. If they don't take a trade from somebody that wants Mariota, I think they're going to go the Dante Fowler route. Fowler fits their defense. He's a freak. Athletically, he's a freak. And I really think that this is where it starts getting interesting. Fowler jumps. I see Fowler jumping Williams and going number 2 to the Titans. He fits that 3-4 scheme the Titans run. He kind of reminds me of Javon Curse in the way he plays. A lot like Javon Curse. He's a big, lean defensive end that could also maybe move out and play outside linebacker. I see Dante Fowler going.
All right, what's your thoughts, Steve?
Well, it is getting to be interesting because let's just get ourselves. They could trade back. They're in a great spot to trade. We all know the rumors. Chip Kelly could trade up. Reality is it probably won't happen. I just look for a trade, but there's also you can think. I'm going to say it. Marcus Mariota would be a great pick. You know, they've been talks about trades with the Chargers for Rivers. And my thing is, no.
That was squashed today. That was it.
Thank God. I was going to say that would be the worst thing they could do.
Rivers says he'll retire as San Diego Charger. He's invoking it.
Or an Oakland Charger.
That would be the worst thing that could happen.
Or Los Angeles
he's already
Charger.
Rivers invoked his no trade clause.
Thank you, God.
Los Angeles Charger.
That's what I thought too when I saw that. Was thank you, Jesus.
And the other thing we talk about, Dante Fowler, or we're talking Leonard Williams, they could go and get Marcus Mariota, but let's not kid ourselves. Next year's defensive end, look who's coming out: Joey Bosa, Robert Nkemdiche, John Oakman. Come on, those guys. It's going to be deep. You're going to have the big fish pond, and I don't see the Tennessee Titans to be any better than they were last year, maybe by 2 games. And that's it. So they can still go get that big time splash and get probably a better football player than what Leonard Williams or the Fowler kid, and they're going to have their big man pond already there. So I'm going to say Marcus Mariota or a trade.
The reason I think Tennessee's going defense is 2 words: Dick LeBeau.
Mm-hmm.
Longtime Steelers defensive coordinator, came over to the Titans, defensive guru, built those teams in Pittsburgh. I see them going defensive.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't think you miss with Fowler or Williams in either spot. I don't think you miss. They're both great defenders. Mariota, I still think, is a risk at number 2.
I don't know. I still think when you've got the bigger fish out there, because let's not care. So Joey Bosa is a monster.
But if you're playing in the draft time next year,
I can honestly say I don't see. Come on, man, Tennessee. Let's just be real. Tennessee is not any good. They're not. They have not been really any good for a while. And I don't see them being any better without a solid quarterback. I think Mettenberger is just not going to get it done.
Tennessee was plagued by injuries a lot last year too. You got to. Injuries hamper Tennessee more than anybody too.
I get that, but I'm telling you right now, when you've got a deeper class defensive ends coming out next year, and why settle with these? Whenever I think the quality for next year is better, and I hate to say play for draft next year, but man, if you can get one of these guys next year that are going to be better, I'm sold on that.
I'm against that mentality. I think they're going to go with, just based on Dick LeBeau getting there, I think they're going to go the route of a defensive player. I don't believe any team will ever play for someone next year. But you never know. That's like Kevin said, this is where it gets interesting. I think that you will see ratings, honestly, go up after the number 1 pick is announced, because this is where it gets fun. There is no set number 2.
Would you be shocked if Chip Kelly did trade up in that number 2 position? I mean, he really doesn't have a quarterback either.
I'd be shocked because he ain't got nothing to use to trade up to the number 1 pick.
That's true. He did unload half his roster.
Exactly.
I would be shocked because of that reason right there. Unless, and I've said this before on the podcast, unless he pulls a Mike Ditka.
Yeah, he'd have to Ricky Williams trade it.
1999 when Mike Ditka gave up everything for Ricky Williams. Unless he pulls a Mike Ditka, they're not moving the number 2 in the draft.
No.
The only other team I could see maybe moving the number 2 or high enough to take Mariota, and I say moving to take Mariota, is the Cleveland Browns.
That's it.
And I wouldn't want the media circus of Mariota and Manziel. I couldn't stomach it. Like, I would have to disconnect. I'd have to disconnect my cable for a few months.
I'm on board with the Titans snagging Williams. I mean, they're 31st in the league in opposing rushing yards. I'm with you, Steve. They can snag one as well too. You know, maybe next year if it's so deep that they can probably snag one next year, regardless of where their position would be next year. But they need the help right now. I know that the quarterback is beyond atrocious in that area, and they need a lot of help.
Well, Mettenberger was good in the games that he did not get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mettenberger. That's why I say Mettenberger. Give him a full year.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can probably do some stuff and build some other pieces around and try to get some quarterback via free agency.
Williams fits Dick LeBeau's system very good too, because he's a big dude. He can adjust to whichever position they want to play him in.
I mean, in reality, man, they just needed help in a lot of places.
They suck.
Their leading rusher had 500 some yards. I mean, I know Sankey was a rookie, but I mean, that's pretty.
He still won me in the fantasy league, so I'm cool with that.
There you go. But I mean,
he did.
This team really needs a lot of help in a lot of places, and they always say defense is a good place to start. Whenever you want to start building a foundation. I don't know about Mariota possibly going that high at number 2. But, I mean, definitely it won't surprise me because mock drafts got him going number 2 between to, like, number 10 and everything like that. So it's a range of where this guy can really go. So this is where all 3 of you are correct. The draft really get interesting at this point because you really don't know what's going to happen here. This is where it becomes
This is where we're watching the big, gigantic jumbotrons and going, what are they going to do?
Right. So, all right, let's move on to the third pick.
Hey!
Third pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Again.
3-13.
Not again because we were 4-12 last year.
So,
no, but can we call the number 3 spot the Jacksonville spot? Because it seems like you're always at number 3.
Not after this year.
Last year they were number 3. The year before we y'all number 3.
So, no, we were number 2 the year before.
So, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jokel, you're number 2, yeah.
Yeah, we were number 2 the year before. We took Jokel.
So, I mean, this is a team that is still rebuilding. They got, pieces on the defensive end. The offense was atrocious. I mean, at least from my eyes, hard to watch it sometimes to try to move the ball down the field.
The offensive line was pitiful. Let's say it the way it should be said.
It was pretty
the
bad,
offensive line was garbage. You
definitely missed your Sinner that retired the year before.
You started 7 or 8 at one time offensive rookies. You started 8 rookies at one time or another on your offensive side of the ball. It was a struggle. It was a struggle with all these rookies and everything. The defense, later on in the year, started picking up. Guys started showing up. Kelvin Smith come in and showed out. Colvin, our later round pick who was coming off his ACL tear, as soon as he got back, as soon as he started getting into the lineup, showed that quick twitch that everybody likes. Is going to be probably a nickel and then move out to the other corner. He's probably going to be here a while. Mm-hmm. So we found those young pieces. What Caldwell said when he came to the thing, this is what he wanted to do in drafts. Offensive lineman, offensive tackle, quarterback, pass rusher. So what do I think they're going to do here? They're going to go pass rusher. And I think they're going to go Dante Fowler Jr. because he fits that system to a T. He's going to be able to play